Millennial. Possibly on the other side of millennial. Attack of the Clones is not a good movie. It was god awful. Welcome back to Rewind with bschwitty, because my ally is the Force, and a powerful ally it is. Today is the day before the early premiere of the next installment in the Star Wars franchise. So, being the giant nerd that I am, isn't that right, R2? That's a yes. I saw this thing for Star Wars movie wine pairings, and today on Wind Down Wednesday we're going to see how accurate those are. Now, I've only seen these movies like 100 times each over my lifetime. I don't know them that closely, but I'm really excited because tomorrow, Thursday night, I'm going to go to one of the early premieres of The Last Jedi here in San Luis Obispo. And I'm super excited. The movie looks amazing, and I can't wait to see where the Star Wars franchise goes from here. So let's pull up some Star Wars pairings. So we're gonna start all the way at the very beginning with the Phantom Menace, and go in chronological order within the Star Wars universe. Starting with the Phantom Menace, Episode 1. They suggest pairing that with a 2013 Sauvignon Blanc. Now, this was written 2 years ago when The Force Awakens came out. So, vintages might change, but this is their pairing. Let's be honest, Episode 1 was fun here and there, but overall it doesn't lend much to the rest of the series. You could skip this movie and still understand everything that is going on. However, it is still a pretty good movie and worth watching. The 2013 Neighborhood Sauvignon Blanc is the perfect sidekick to this solid flick, with pear, green apple, and fig. And apparently no Oxford comma. But the real reason this is a great pairing, the high alcohol content, because the biggest takeaway from Episode 1 is really this. Jar Jar Binks is so annoying.
Oh, muy, I love you!
You're going to need this bottle. And I absolutely agree with that, although, Sauvignon Blanc. If I want to drink cat pee, high alcohol cat pee while watching Jar Jar Binks, I don't really have a thing for that.
He's embarrassing.
But I'm going to give this pairing a pass. R2 agrees. Now, Episode 2, Attack of the Clone, arguably the worst in the franchise. R2 also agrees with that. We're 10 years into the future, and the separatist movement that Dooku is having all that fun with is ruining everything. Literally everything. Not to mention the clones. The namesake of the film. Still, there is some light at the end of the tunnel. Obi-Wan is kicking butt, and even though Anakin is struggling to handle his rampant emotions, hormones.
I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere. Not like here. Here everything is soft and smooth.
He's doing okay, but we know it doesn't last. The 2010 Tamaya winemaker's Grand Reserve Cabernet Sauvignon is a wine as juicy as the plot of this film. Blackberries and pine make for a delicious flavor. Pour yourself a glass, sit back, and enjoy Obi-Wan and Anakin duking out with Dooku. Millennial. Possibly on the other side of millennial. Attack of the Clones is not a good movie. It was god awful.
I don't like sand.
And Hayden Christensen, when written well for, can do a mediocre job. This was not one of those times. To say that the wine is as juicy as the plot either means that this wine is not juicy at all, or, well, I don't have another thing for that. I'm gonna say pass. And what we're gonna say instead is vodka. Lots and lots of vodka. On to episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. This episode 3 is where all hell breaks loose. Anakin gives into the dark side, and so your wine should reflect that. You need a deep red wine that is complicated as Anakin's feelings. With notes of blackcurrant and licorice, this wine has some epic taste and should perfectly set the stage for an epic ending. Say hello to Vader. No. No! And their recommendation was a Cabernet Reserva from Mendoza. So, I mean, 3 crappy pairings for 3 crappy movies. It makes sense. Seriously, alcohol. Just hard alcohol for those 3. And then, by the time you sober up, on to the next day, you watch the original trilogy. The best part of the Star Wars franchise.
Well, there's only one thing left to do at a time like this. Watch the entire Star Wars trilogy all the way through, because I haven't done that in like 5 years.
Dude, you can't let that happen. If you're not trilling it at least once every 3 years, the dark side wins.
It's what started it all. And this is what started it all. Episode 4, A New Hope. They recommend a magnum of Close to Boys Chardonnay, and I say, fuck that. I know, I'll get demonetized, R2. This movie is a complicated one with emotions running rampant in every direction. Luke could be the one to save everyone, and that's awesome, but this is also the movie where we have to watch Obi-Wan die. Die, move on, enter the next realm, insert your theory here. He became a Force ghost, you moron.
Ooh.
Ben?
So many feelings, people. So we have to decide to pair it with an equally complicated wine, which is clearly not a magnum of Close to Boys Chardonnay from 2011. It has the taste of pear and lemon drop, but complimentary by a toasty oak and spice. Don't forget to pour one out for Baru and Owen. Damn, they got roasted. Yeah, that was in poor taste. But seriously, no, it's not a good pairing. I would recommend going for something more flavorful, like maybe a Burgundian wine, maybe an Oregon Pinot. Something that just celebrates the newness of washing away 3 episodes of just awfulness. Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. Let's face it, Episode 5 is a dark one. Things are not looking great for the Rebel Alliance. The Galactic Empire is looking pretty solid, and overall, the movie ends on a bleak note. That's why this movie deserves a dark wine. The 2012 Pocus Junior Vale de Clavas. Cavalos is just that. Very dark. It's intense, deep red wine with a taste of black fruits and spices. Palpatine would approve, but bschwitty would not. I'm going to say, if you're watching The Empire Strikes Back, which is the best of the entire franchise.
No. It's not true. That's impossible.
Used to be Return of the Jedi when I was a kid, because that green lightsaber, which I finally own, because it was cool with the sword fights, or with the lightsaber fights, and it was just awesome. But no, it's all about the nuance of Empire Strikes Back. It's about that ending where they don't save Han, and everything's just panning back, and you see Lando literally steal Han's clothes, ship, and best friend to go save him on Tatooine. It's just, I know, it's really weird that he does that. Seriously, he's wearing Han's clothes. Regardless, you need something that is deserved of such a grand and epic entry into the Star Wars franchise. And that, my friends, is a Napa cab. Yes, while expensive, a good Napa cab will have the depth and flavor that this episode has. So, trust me over random person writing this article. Now, finally, for episode 6, Return of the Jedi, they recommended 2012 Willowbrook Cellars Pinot Noir. There are a lot of things we could discuss for this final movie, but I am biased and have a personal favorite moment, the Battle of Endor. One of the greatest battles in the original trilogy, in this writer's humble opinion. And come on, don't you just want to curl up and live in a treehouse on Endor forever? Clearly written by someone younger than me. I like the Ewoks. There's the Ewok line.
Ah, yes. Ultimately, Ewoks split Star Wars fandom into two camps, those born before and those born after May 25th, 1973. The Ewok line. Anyone born on this side of the Ewok line was at least 10 years old when Jedi came out, and thus too old for something so cloying and cute. Anyone born on this side loved the Ewoks because it reminded you of your teddies.
But not enough to just want to live on Endor, because did you see Leia's hair? So lush, so foresty. In honor of that, they got decimated and then slaughtered a bunch of stormtroopers. 2012 Willowbrook Cellars Pinot Noir is an earthy forest floor kind of wine which hints with berries and oak on the finish. A fantastic way to round out an epic marathon. Now I agree, maybe an earthier Pinot would encapsulate Endor, a forest moon, not a planet, and maybe be a good pairing. But you have to remember, it's the end of the best part of the best trilogy, and I would say, go bold. Have a bottle of champagne, proper Blanc de Noir, Pinot. Trust me, you'll want it. The celebration at the end will be much more magical if you're a few sheets to the wind with your champagne. Finally, they didn't recommend anything for episode 7, but Buzzbin Padilaco, I don't know, had a bunch of just pun wines, which I didn't really appreciate. And their final recommendation is the Force Majeure from Washington. It's a limited edition wines, and they have much attention to detail, as much as the anticipated film, which is set 30 years after Return of the Jedi. So this was written before it even came out. I'm going to say episode 7, after viewing it, requires something extreme, but also comforting. You want to be at that perfect level of intoxicated that you can enjoy the movie for what it is without thinking, hey, this is kind of similar to episode 4. So, with that being said, I'm going to recommend a Central Coast Zinfandel. Personally, I like the Midnight Cellars one, but I'm biased since I work there. And that will give you a little jamminess, good fruit, and an excellent just encapsulation of episode 7, which is both fun, an homage, and something to get you excited for the rest of this new trilogy. Plus, spoiler alert, with Han's death, you need something to take the edge off. So, do you have any wines that you think pair well with movies, specifically Star Wars? Let me know in the comments below. Have you ever paired wines with movies, or do you just like drinking wine? I know I do. Well, what do you think, R2? Do you like wine with movies? Alright, guess he can't handle his alcohol. Join us on Friday where we are going to talk about another holiday Christmas idea. I believe this week is the wine condom. Oh, yes. So, we're getting close to the end of the holiday season. I don't know. I'm just so excited for Star Wars tomorrow. I can't think. I will see you Friday. I'll catch you next time. Oh, and please comment, subscribe, like, and whatnot. Subscribe. Smash that subscribe button. It would be awesome if we could get to 100 subscribers by the end of the year. It would really help me out. Get that little vanity title up on the top, and can link people to my series better. Either way, thank you for watching. My name's bschwitty, and I wish you the greatest viewing weekend of Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. Not a sponsor. I'll catch you next time.